Good evening, pretty boy Slaughter. How you doing tonight? Thank you for the follow. I saw you do that offline the other night. Oh, gotta make sure all the platforms are loaded up fine. I think we're good. All right, happy Tuesday. Looks like we already have the Unity event completed. Anniversary heist events got started today. Let's see, did they give away tickets? We gotta earn tickets. And that is through a heist cipher, which we're getting at the last milestone. So after this SMS event is done, you can opt into this anniversary SMS. That's a 2-day event. And this is paying out store tokens. And that's going towards the anniversary AMS. And then this celebrations SMS, claiming the victory chest. Okay, it's good to see. It's kind of weird that they started half of the event stuff yesterday. We had the one SMS. Romy, I had the tokens, but I don't remember when I got the first one. It must have been yesterday. Yeah, there was one of these SMSs yesterday, and we got the second one today now. How's it going tonight, Romy? I kind of tried to read through the article a little bit yesterday, but it was kind of like it seemed weird because half the stuff wasn't here, so I was like, okay, we'll just wait until we see it. All right, so Chronicle of the Ascendant is back. Still heroic. Probably to the same degree. I think I have a little bit more saved up in terms of some of the building materials. And this is going towards store tokens as well. And then the meta is for Hierarch shards. Been playing since our Dead Server 28 started, so these days it's kind of a cruise control. I just see the events, do them, and wonder later where I got the loot from. I do that on some days too, you know, like it's tough to always really see how everything's linked together, especially when it's a meta, an SMS feeding a meta that feeds another meta that feeds an AMS. It's like getting that link together. I mean, it's almost as complicated as one of the whole refinery loops for one of the new faction ships. And I think that there was a upgrade event started for the outpost. Yes. I was holding on to that when I saw this event pop because I was like, okay, if I upgrade the outpost control center today, then I'm going to need it tomorrow. And this Chronicle of the Ascendant event is 1 day. So I can upgrade Chronicle, or we can upgrade the outpost control center today. Crucible of War feels like that's a little bit heavy. Oh, I did this one already. I started an outpost this morning. Just kind of in hopes that it would carry over into this afternoon's events, and yeah. Battle Pass for the outpost resets tomorrow. The Battle Pass or the Battle Pass event? Battle Pass event. Ah, there's some Wraith credits there. I missed the last one. Trying to time it, so I'll wait till tomorrow. Yeah, I was just trying to time the other events because I'm not too concerned about the Battle Pass. I mean, it's always good to have the free stuff, but I don't. As long as I get the milestone with the control cores, that's all that I really care about. These last two ones isn't a super big deal to me if I get those complete, so I'm willing to miss a couple of them in order to make sure that I can get in on a good SLB. I don't know what the scoring mechanic was for this Defender one. And more of the control cores. So, I think that's a good thing because I'd let that feed into the next iteration, the next upgrade event. Because right now I don't see a reason to actually upgrade the outpost control center until I have enough to get it to go to 40. Unless it's for an event like this. Retribution Part 1. Alright, we still have 3 days to do the new missions. So I think on Thursday I'll probably record those missions. I got a good chunk of this one done already. If I buy anything in the game, it is Battle Pass, so I try to complete them. Then I usually have a day to decide if I want to pay for the extra row. I do like that too, and I do think that the paid track on this Battle Pass has value since it is so new. That, getting those 200, 300 extra control cores is worth a lot more when your building's at level 15 than it is when it's at level 30. I'm not fully certain if I collected all my battle pass yesterday or the day before, whenever the battle pass ended. I'm not 100% certain that I collected all of that. So we had like 6,000. Was that 6,000 for the Chronicle of the Ascendant? No, okay, that was way more. 24,000. So that's like 4 epic officer shards. I'll round it up and count it as 3 galactic acclaim. 3 prime mirror dust. The GS31 parts I saw were in here. They're kind of expensive, but that's, we'll say, 3 packs of those. I mean, that's not too bad. I always collect, but the one thing I forgot, I always do Q's trials before bed, then forget to collect the daily for it. Then in the morning, I don't have a refine. That's not a bad thing to try to do, for sure. I have it set up so, like, I do all my claims after the game resets, after the daily reset, or after the event reset, and then I do all of my activities in the evening before dailies reset. I try to do it right after event reset, so I have the potential to double dip. Like I did that primarily when the Syndicate um the Syndicate XP collection was really a thing. So then I could do like an extra day collecting my daily Syndicate XP and then whatever extra stuff there was that was coming through the um through like the ship or building packs. Like I wasn't collecting, I collected these, but I do like all the main refinery and faction stuff in the evenings. So like now I've still got like all my refinery stuff up except for like I do my materials and ship parts throughout the day. But like my outpost stuff and aggregation and all that I have yet to collect. And that's kind of a habit from alliance tournaments, giving myself that extra wiggle room during alliance tournaments. Yeah, I mean it's definitely about being a creature of habit. I mean, that's just the way that I've got my habit set up. Bulk refine is definitely a huge time saver. I mean, it shaved 20 minutes off of my day. Especially after they sped up the refinery. Because I mean, it was taking me 45 minutes to do all of the chest collections between the refinery and the faction chests and just the normal gifts area. I usually try to hit these all up before stream, but I was tied up in some other stuff. This is why I rarely stream all this game. I have all the interesting things done by the time I get home. I do on my off days, like I'll play the game a little bit throughout the day. You know, like I'll go send, like I would have done Q's trials at work or something like that, you know, something that you don't have to pay any attention to. You just kind of do it and 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, you can do it again because whatever the 10 that it takes to finish the event is okay to spread out over like 8 hours. Or like yesterday's ticketed event for doing armadas. Like that's one that I do at work. I go to a level 50 system, no, level 60 system, and just run uncommon slowly throughout the day. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, 30 minutes at lunchtime, I can probably get more done than like 30 minutes at home most of the time, it feels like. Speaking of which, this is also something I try to do before I start stream is go set these miners out. I do appreciate the fast jump, the instant warp for the squall to be able to get into this system quick. I've got a nice little wireless charging stand that I put my phone on at work, and it works really great for just really passive activities. In fact, if the days are really, really, really super passive, sometimes I forget to grab my grab my phone when I head over to lunch. All right, that one actually spawned really fast. I like that. These things have been spawning really slow for me usually. I know that they said that they've did like a live patch or something like that for something else, but I don't know if that um really played into it or not. I don't really talk to anyone at work and have a huge office to myself, so I just have lunch, watch YouTube, and play for that for 30 minutes. I usually have lunch with others. Um so like half the time I don't really do much of anything during my lunch break on the game other than reset miners and just check the events to see if there is a heavy load for the day that would require a little bit more attention. Because if there's like a heavy game load where I know I'm gonna have to go hit 200 hostiles or 100 hostiles or something like that, then yeah, I'm gonna knock out a little bit throughout the day, get like half of it done before I head home. All right, let's update Outpost Control Center. I don't know how far it can go. Probably just the one tier. Unless they pay in some other stuff through another event here. I should have looked at the battle pass. I might have some control cores in there still. I didn't see what today's milestone marked. Pioneer Crest. Well, actually, I guess at the end of the day, I'll probably start another one of these. Or maybe do that in the morning again. Okay, so this is based on the start. And this upgrade thing runs all the way through tomorrow. So yeah, I will probably just start one probably start one at lunch again tomorrow. Because this will be reset, and then I'll get the credit for that one. And that'll give Wraith credits. Nothing too important. That is 30,600 points away. That gets 20,000 points. Yeah. So another one tomorrow. I've got like 4 starts saved up. Busy stuff you do like hostile dailies. I mean, with Kirshara, that makes it really easy because you only have to pay attention to the game for like 10 seconds and you can really get that stuff done. Got yours to 24, but I was level 2 ahead. Not sure if you cheese the system. There was an efficiency. I haven't done the arc missions yet. I'm assuming that um there's probably some building stuff in here if I remember correctly. It's usually a pretty safe assumption. Like they usually use those events to give you a little bit of a jump start. You know, like if it's a ship, they usually include a couple ship blueprints. You know, whatever the new feature is for the month has a little leg up from that. Well, they're super easy speed crew and a fast warship. Yeah, I'm just gonna go through. I'm gonna just create a video going through the dialogue, post it on YouTube, and see if it gets any views. See if I can be a little bit creative with it and get out of my element and do some voice acting or something. I've done a couple like on stream a few months back, and that seemed to be fairly well received at the time. So it doesn't seem to be something that anybody really capitalizes on or puts effort towards. So it might be a neat little niche that people can appreciate. You know, especially if it takes like 20 minutes to go through all 4 events. You know, like that's kind of a commute slash podcast kind of time or whatever. I've not enjoyed a story since the Packlid one, which was extremely well written and entertaining. Those ones were really good. Like those were very, very in line with Lower Decks, and like I could envision those stories very, very, very colorfully. I mean, I think the stories are doing like a pretty good job of telling themselves, but yeah, those ones are probably the height of any of the arc missions as far as having a story that really is lockstep with the you know, like the original works, the original IP. All right, 5 more helps there. I would normally just blast through a building that's only taking 2 hours, but being as it's a help stay, I'm trying to make sure that everybody gets a chance to give me a hand. I might even do a research just to just to do it. Oh, this is actually helping with Crucible of War too. I forget about that. A lot of the Crucible of War, it's probably even more efficient to do a bigger ship than the cube. I haven't looked at the scoring change or looked for a scoring change. Cube. So my Kaskari is 137 points. Cube they have tied in with I don't see it on this list. It was with some of the other it was with some of the other faction ships, I thought. It was at a weird spot. Yeah, maybe not. Got the Reliant going constant. I probably should too. I didn't think about scoring it for a for Crucible of War. Does that have an AMS or an ALB? Has an AMS. Does it have an ALB? It does have an ALB. That's straight up 10 points per no matter what. So that is definitely worth having Reliant trolling. Need the credits so you can do Cons Champions. I'm doing pretty good at that. I've got the I did really heavy on the grind. I don't remember if it was between the first and second arc of Khan's arc, but it was at least after the second arc for sure. Like I wanted to make sure that I left it where I was at the apex of the arc. Let's see, we should probably have one more. Nice to Max. I still don't even know how to say his name. Joachim. I was a fan of Joachim, but that's been told to be wrong. Joachim makes sense, but I guess DJs had said that the Paramount team wanted it done as like Joachim or Joachim or something like that. Was watching Trek Culture on YouTube and forgot how they pronounced it, but not even close. Yeah. So there might be a more official source then. I mean, we were just left at our own devices. Um, wouldn't that be? That's 5 years ago, 6 years ago. That would have been 6 years ago that he was introduced into the game. And it sounds like we were only recently getting corrected on it. Might be there, Brits. Okay, so this should be the last one then. This heavy hitters event is always like a really, really interesting one for me. Because like there was like some really cheesy ways to be able to do it like a year ago. But like that playing field's been evened out so much here. Because like some of these specialty ships and like the armadas and stuff that go with it end up scoring like a lot of points. Okay, so that one is done. Let's see if we have any. See if this one might be able to go. Oh, that is going to be just barely. So 15 over. I'll be able to get it up to. I'll be able to get it up to 24. That's perfect. And then I've got points for the Transigen refinery and the Recon Locust building. I don't know how many levels I've got of those. One of each. I don't think that's going to be much to move the needle on this Ascendant event. We can see what we can do with Wrath credits. It's been a little bit. I'm up 60, but I maxed my NX-01 early and was able to reach the 62 system, and I was able to score really high in anything hostile related. Now they're only 2 levels above me, so not much of an advantage. Yeah, I know. I was in Lube's chat earlier, and I know there was like a 54 or whatever that said that they did one level 60 freebooter and it was able to complete the event for them, and I'm like, oof. Like none of those events have really panned out for me because I'm usually a little bit closer to the top end of like where the hostiles count for those things. It's kind of like the Alliance tournament ones, like I've always been kind of at the bottom of the scale for any of the hostile attacking ones that you can do, like the probes or the swarm or Perogen, maybe. Yeah, I mean, like we used to be able to cheese doing that with the traders and the capital systems, back in the day, like from level 36, 37, you could kill the. What are those? 55? 49. These used to be higher at the beginning of the game, and I never remember what level they're at. But yeah, you could kill these with the G4 epic or G3 epic. Yeah, first billion faction lock. It's such a crazy thought. Like I've got players that are like low to mid G4 that are getting their G5 locks done, and it's like you're like, where can I go find this level of hostiles? And it's like Well, you can do like your hostile dailies, but doing your actual faction stuff is hard to do over 55 if you don't have like a G4 rare. So this one is aggregation. Is that the same one that we had yesterday? 30 aggregation hostiles. That's not bad. My playstyle of the game is easy mode. Yeah, I mean they've done so much with officers and just all of the research and stuff that it's insane what can be done with a ship now versus when I was a 34, 35. Like it was impressive to be able to solo a 39 uncommon armada. Of course, that was back in 2020, 2021. All right, aggregation. I can do that with any ship. And then the ticketed event, destroying hostiles with an explorer. So I could either do that with Koskari or I could. Does it have to be faction hostiles? Any hostiles. So I could either do that with Koskari or NX01 or Protector. What else do we got for explorers? Oh, relativity. Predum armadas. Oops, I did not mean to click that twice. Never thought you could do hostile dailies and events with a miner, but not uncommon to send out Novas to grind. That's crazy. Researchers help, but typically I have all mine done before moving ops. It's a good idea. I target mine, like I do like all my efficiency stuff that I can for sure. And then I skip most of the PvP things just because I'm not interested in partaking in PvP for the most part. Like most of my PvP tactics are going to be, more on the side of distraction or defense during raids, and it doesn't require PvP abilities. That's all about fast ships. And good base defense. Well, I suppose Reliant is scoring some points for this. Yeah, we'll send out Koskari over to faction space. Because by the time I get that there, I should be able to have that ticket unlocked. Not a big PvPer, but when I can punch up, it feels pretty good. Especially when I'm attacked and the attacker goes home. Yep. Yeah, I bounced a fairly small vengeance off of my base on the one of the last incursions. I felt pretty good about that one. It definitely wasn't like a tier. It wasn't above like tier 5 or something like that. You know, nothing fantastic, nothing really special, but it was still my first one, I guess, you know. They are still kind of fun to attack in the arenas. I know that it's going to be instant death, but like one of the times you just like, okay, RNG is going to work in my favor one of these times and I'm going to pull off a victory. Let's see. We'll go speed crew. Oh, let's see. Dzoc is not needed. So we'll just put him on. And a ship that could use some ship XP on it. And then go here. The DM of holy crap after a fight is always great. Yeah, when like the oceans and bold defense strategies were first becoming a thing, like that was really, really easy to catch people off guard for and really, really, really impress them about what can be done. And I've found that, you know, like there's some people that are newer to the game now that haven't heard of like some of those defense strategies. And, you know, like even some of the people that they're, you know, playing with on the server that are the stronger ships and being the attacker haven't seen it before. And it can still do a pretty decent job of holding back an attack. Because it's been interesting. Like there's a pretty decent knowledge gap. It seems like because you know like so many of the content creators are so deep in the game that they don't always revisit like all the little details like that. Like it's easy to have a video about talking about you know like ship strategies and stuff like that where it's like a pretty general topic that 100% of people are going to encounter, but getting into incursion defense or raid defense stuff is you know something that's probably a little bit more difficult to think about unless he has I'm thinking of like Rev or something like that that has people you know specifically asking questions about like how they can improve their tactics or strategies or something like that. You know, like sometimes that doesn't get revisited as quick as it could. And even maybe some of the officer sheets might get outdated with newer officers or something like that. Because like with the new retribution crew stuff, like that may have changed things enough that some of the older tactics aren't as applicable. I know when Rom came to the game, that kind of changed some of the strategies a little bit. But they got countered with, what is it, Sloan, I think? It was either Sloan or Lorca has the countermeasure to, or was it the countermeasure to Rom, or was that the countermeasure to the Prime? It's always interesting how some of that content becomes mitigated. You know, like it's a really good, you know, like monetization strategy as far as like a company goes to, you know, create a condition, a couple months later create another condition that overrides the first condition, and as a player it's kind of sucks because it kind of negates a lot of any time or monetary investment in the things, but it gives you it gives you a leg up if you jump on it right away. But that's kind of what pushed me away from doing PvP, was when Isolatic Defense came out. I kind of stopped spending on any kind of primes or anything like that was related to PvP, because the dollar today that's spent to gain that advantage is going to be 2 or 3 6 months down the road washed out by a different spending method avenue. Again, it's a killer monetization strategy, because you're creating a constant supply of demand for the new product. But after a certain point, there's kind of a trust issue that gets built into that. Evening, Tin Man. And did you get your computer yet? Yeah, create a problem. Sell a solution. December 1st. So next Monday. I didn't see what the top milestone for this one was. So I don't know if the board is even MV dual slot. It's pretty easy to expect it these days. I mean, unless you're like in a micro ITX or something like that. Okay, so that's still got one more milestone. I was wanting to buy another on Friday on sale. I haven't been looking at the sales yet on any of the computer stuff really specifically. Like I was looking a little bit at like some laptops and like tablets and stuff. I was seeing some pretty decent prices on laptops. Like they were kind of in line with where like normal sale prices were. Um what would that have been? Probably 8 to 10 months ago. Looking at a microphone. There's so many so many good ones out there. A couple of them are really reasonably priced too. Mm, I'll say like the one thing I don't like about my setup is I don't have a shock mount with mine, and I would like to have a shock mount. Use what you got and roll with it for a bit. I mean, it's definitely worth seeing because like there's a lot that can be done in the software for like doing a little bit of tuning on the voice with the equalizers and um some of the sound sound deadening stuff. Noise suppression. Not sure if I want to stream. It's just something I want to show the grind for Op 60 day one. I mean, I think that's definitely a good way to test the waters. I mean, like if you're gonna do it, I would definitely try to get that worked out like on a day with like a content creator or something like that, like another streamer that can maybe pass you a raid and um get you the points for being able to hit affiliate or something. The program's pretty easy to get into. You just have to stream like a total of 5 hours or something. I think is the biggest part of it. Mostly it's just setting up Stream Elements with OBS with Stream Elements. Stream Elements is the easiest part of it, and for the most part, it's not even really necessary. Um, like I use it for my multi-streaming for YouTube and Kick, but I don't generally use it very much for my Twitch streaming here. The most that I use it for is just having a tip page. I think that's about the only thing that I really use it for Twitch. Right now I've got my scenes set up through sound alerts. So like all the follower and subscriber and cheers and stuff, that's all an overlay in sound alerts. Which Stream Elements is exactly the same thing. I just like the way that the overlays get managed in sound alerts a little bit easier. They're a little bit easier to customize. If you get into doing like CSS and some other customizations, there's some kind of coding and stuff. It's very, very flexible on Stream Elements. Like you can make it do whatever you want. Once I get the PC, I have updates and installs, then the mod installed. Yep. I'm hoping to see an update in the mod here soon that they knock out the the titles in Alliance chat. Sounds like Tim Man is right around the same place I am. I just have not had time to really dig in and go, but snow's around the corner. Yeah, that's kind of what I did. Like I had my first stream in December of last year. Like I had taken probably like 2 months to kind of just putz around with it and get my stuff set up. And then I did a stream for like an hour or something like that, and I just went back and I looked at the footage and kind of picked out what I did right, what I did wrong, and like what things I saw that I liked and what things I saw that I didn't like, and just kind of worked around until I kind of had an idea of where I really wanted to push things. And then I kind of just perfected everything offline for 3 months, like getting all my screens and scenes and everything set up. And then, yeah, I've just been going at it ever since. I started in March. Yeah, March 19th. And it's something that's constantly evolving, constantly learning about too. Like I'm still in my free time, I'm still watching um guidance videos, new things about OBS and stuff like that. My playback sound is my thing. I need to play around with sound settings and a mic. Use a clicky keyboard, but I'm sure not everyone that watches wants to know that. Well, I think there's more people that appreciate a clicky keyboard than don't. Especially as long as it comes through clear. Like not necessarily loud, but as long as it comes through clear. Like if you have a sound gate or something, or noise gate that's set up and it like kind of picks it up but kind of doesn't, then it just becomes kind of random background noise that doesn't have a place. But if it's like a good clicky keyboard that you can hear consistently when people are typing, I think that adds an ambiance to the stream that is appreciable for people that like that kind of noise, at least. I've got a cheap wireless Logitech keyboard. Mine is not that loud. Well, that's another thing with me not having a shock mount. Like, if I touch my desk too much or something like that, the sound goes through the microphone stand if I don't have noise suppression on it. Even then, there's still going to be some times, like when I set down my cup, like sometimes that sound will come through it, but it's usually quieter than the music, so it doesn't stand out too significantly. Barely hear the music. Yeah, that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be there and not be not be a focus point. It's kind of like Tibbs too. Like he's got an ambient soundtrack that runs behind his stream, and that kind of fills in some of the gaps and kind of plugs at the subconscious a little bit. No, I've got like everything cranked in my ears. Like it's super super loud for me. No, I shouldn't say super loud. It's much louder for me than how it comes across on stream. And like the sound alerts are kind of the same way because like my sound alerts are basically at like 70% 60% for the stream, but they come through to me at like 100 or 90. I want to make sure that the jump scares are actual jump scares. I had it set up before where it was my monitoring was set up to the same as what the stream was, but like they were loud, but they weren't as loud as they should be or need to be. Which that reminds me, I didn't activate my overlay for Pangea and stream stickers. But yeah, that's something that I constantly try to play with and stuff is the sound and the background music. Just trying to get that at a level that I want it to be at. I've got it coming through in a separate track in my recordings, so if it's ever too quiet, then I can boost it up if I need to. The beard is going into winter mode. Looks good. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's definitely getting into the jacket zips up and it covers over the collar. It's at the right spot that it needs to be. It's probably going to get down to where it covers the collar of my shirt. Again, that's where I had it last winter, and I was going back and looking at some of my older recordings, and I was like, I didn't even remember that it got that long, but it was there. I had a bad trim job at the beginning of summer. Like I was trying to trim off just a little bit of it, and it just kind of went a little far, which was fine because it was summertime, so it worked out for the good, and I kind of kept it shorter throughout the summer. Okay, so anniversary events are done. Growing mine out, but it's a winter thing. Shave it off in the spring with my hair. I I keep on thinking about it. Like I usually had like a goatee, but I've had a beard for a couple years now. I always had trouble getting past the poofy part. I've got some beard creams and stuff now, so if it does start getting out of hand, I can rein it back in. All right, so we have Outpost Defender, which is holding an outpost and retaliation attackers. About a week of itch, a couple weeks of poof, and then it settles. Yeah, mine likes to stay poofy for like 4 weeks or something like that. Shave it for Halloween costumes, or I've had a beard since 1993. I know that you have like good money for it, but it's still a lot of commitment. All right, daily events. I didn't even check to see what the daily events were. I think it was Fleet Commander upgrade. I don't even know if that's worth doing anymore. It's like 79,000 Latinum. But like Ultra Recruits aren't worth it. 1,800 of faction credits. Like that's not really worth it. All right, we have heavy hitters cross alliance leaderboard. That's a hostile hunt one. Outpost control center. That's a separate one. Okay, I knew that there was one that had started yesterday. I thought, but I thought that was in the um outpost events. That the SLB. That's the SLB. The SMS is outside. Okay. Another one of those days where they kind of screwed up where things go. Outpost overflow. Outpost overflow tech. Okay, so that's... I feel like I'm missing something again. Chronicle of the Ascendant. Do the next building. I will do anything for faction credits. That is typically what drives me. I'm typically the same way. Like, when it comes to my away teams, like, I make sure that any of them that have faction credits, I run. Anything that has Latinum and anything that has faction credits, I'll run. Like, I'll run all 4 of these. Doesn't even matter if I can... I mean, even just the rep. It's not a lot of rep, but... Like, I'll make sure that I get that rep. Ship XP too. I don't generally go for ship XP specifically. But I think that usually ties in with other things that I'm going after. Yeah, like this one here has the ship XP, and then that's tied in with the Latinum. Like, I'm going after it for the Latinum, and the ship XP is just a side benefit. But, like, I don't add the extra officers. I only put the officers on that give me the crit chance maxed out. I mean, sometimes I'll send, like, a 12-hour one like this. Like, sometimes I'll send them out if I don't think I'll need them, but being as I might do... do an outpost before then I'll probably just keep as many people back that I would need. Okay, so that's all the daily events. Okay, let's upgrade Recon Locus. Now, one of these, Transigen Fort or Recon Locus, would do a reset. A reset of the refinery. Okay, Recon Locus goes at 61. Transigen Forge. Does it say what level? Transigen Forge previews. So that is Forge level 50 is the next change there. And I think we're 48 going for 49. If I remember correct. 47 going for 48. Well, I should make sure that ticketed event is finished. That should be the last milestone. Yes. Okay, so that one's done. This overflow thing feels weird. Is that so? That's tied into Battle Pass, which are Officer Depot tokens. Is that the ticketed event? Pass store tokens. Pass store tokens. Okay, so it must be like a quiet ticket for the battle pass. Or quiet. No, okay, no, that's the regular battle pass event. I forgot about that because I accidentally did the Unity just by doing helps, because there was a lot of helps this afternoon for some reason. Speaking of helps, I'm going to do a ship research because there's never a shortage of ship researches to do. And I want to make sure I do it in a ship that's not going to score me stuff. Just grinding 65s in Mirror Universe. That's a good spot to be doing it. Let's see. Relativity is finished except for cargo capacity, but I don't see a need for dealing with that. Revenant is just regular resources. Artifact gallery schematics. Starfleet honors. I don't know if I need artifact gallery schematics or Starfleet honors. Starfleet honors could probably use. Maybe not. I could take that all the way up to 69. Yeah, artifact gallery. I won't need that one either. So, like, there's no reason to get those efficiencies. Yeah, like right now, I think the research I'm doing is for Titan. Right? Yeah. 'Cause I think there was a bunch of these ships that we had that when I hit level 60, research 69, R&D 69, the warp range opened up. Op 60, get a few Sigma. Oh, you're getting Sigma speed ups already? That's awesome. You know, even though they're only like 15-minute speed ups, like that makes a big difference in the early game. Because like this building going from 61 to 62 is like 2 days. You've been getting Sigma speed ups in the 62 Zindi space. You're getting 15-hour ones in the 65 space? Wow, I didn't think that you could actually get those in the 65 space. I knew you could get them in the 70. Alright, Reliant is almost dead. Let's finish this off. Yeah, the 15 hours ones, I mean, those really add up for you to give you a good head start. Because like two of them is like each of the buildings you need to get to 61 or to 62. I never spent that much time in Mirror Universe doing any of the grinding, but I've been slow playing G6 fairly significantly. Like even right now, um, as part of my announcement, I guess, is like I've been kind of gearing that stuff up for oh, it's been probably pretty close to a month. I think it was right around Halloween that I went to 69, and I think all I am is like 8 days away from going to 70. So I want to push forward for that on Friday. I haven't done any research to see how far that I can take any of the G6 epics, but we'll see. Do 1 hour rep boosts. Yeah. Like that's kind of when I started going in there, was like right before they came out with those, I guess. Like it would have been between like April and August is when I spent the most time in Mirror Universe. And that was specifically for speed ups. I did nothing for rep at all. What do we have here? 118. I might be able to squeak out enough syndicate rep in my faction claims to be able to get that up to 55. That'll be close. I'll be camped at 60 for a while. I have lots of research to catch up on after jumping 3 levels and lots of time to grind MU to finish G5 and prep for G6. Yeah, that's my plan too. Like, I'm going to hit 70. I'm going to build my epic, and then I am going to camp, and I am going to backfill a whole bunch of research. I'm going to get my epic ship to a point where I can start killing the G7 hostiles. And then everything at that point is going to go towards research. I just want to be able to kill one G7 hostile at a time at a minimum. And then backfill on research 100%. That seems so weird to see in a Ryan Corvette blueprint. Alright, so that's more outpost cores from my defense I did earlier. That still leaves me short. Now I might be able to do the refinery claim. No, not quite yet. Oh, that's the different thing. It's the materials one. Like, I'm waiting for the G6 fragment exchange before I actually start doing it. Because, like, I need nothing for G5. Like, sometimes I just spend it in here just for the sake of spending it. They had Why don't they have the bundles? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't pay to hang on to it, but it doesn't pay to spend it either. What are we at? Buildings at 18 helps. Research is at 15. Let's run through the faction store and see if I can... Oh, I have an hour left to go until the faction stuff resets. I got distracted a couple of times this weekend. I let that slide past its normal time. Just got 40 hours of Sigma speed ups. That's pretty dang good. Like every once in a while, I'm getting lucky in the DTI store, and like I'll pull a 3-day, but a lot of times I'll pull a 15-minute. It's such a variety. It's either like a 15-minute or like a 1-day is kind of like my averages. Mass stocking up. You need them. You really, really need them. And that lasts through G7 too. That need does not change. Alright, double check events. Solo waves. I should run a wave. Because I just maxed out the rep yesterday. Or not the rep, the directives. That takes 3 ships. Already ran 2 solos earlier. Hey, Big Booty, how you doing tonight? I did one... Actually, no, I did like 4 of them 2 days ago. Might have done more than that, actually. What was it? Whatever event that used those... There was some kind of event that used those directives for scoring or something. Oh, there was like a wave event. Have to use Sigma to repair a couple ships. Yeah. I'm not sure where I'm getting it from, but I don't have much. It could be from... Probably from the same hostels. Because like those will drop... Those will drop resources every once in a while and then the repair speed ups. I mean, I don't know about maybe the Revenant chest or anything like that too, or in the DTI store maybe, or what's the other one? Section 31? Section 31 has a chest that you can get some Sigma resources out of. And then Augment Exile has a chest there too. Right? No. There's a different chest. Maybe the Augment Exile doesn't have that. But yeah, Section 31 and DTI are possibilities. Or even like the Arena? I would think that those would be more likely to be, um, those would be more likely to be level locked than the hostels. The hostels I would see could definitely not be level locked. All right. I didn't do that right. This is supposed to be the GS31, which I was kind of hoping that today's um Ascendant event was going to be the ship upgrade one. I have a couple of ship upgrades I wouldn't mind doing. 442 hours of Sigma speed ups saved. Yeah, that's like almost 10 days. I mean, that's a lot of buildings and a lot of research. Killing 70s, that was neat, not many, and it's a pain to get to them, but I can kill them. Yeah, especially if you're going to the Mirror Romulus or whatever. It's kind of a maze to get back that far. All right, wave. Ooh, that one's a rough one. Let's see. We'll go this route. Anybody that can provide benefit, I will put on the ship. There. Thinking 3 Selkies versus a D. Three Selkies is a nice number, I'm not gonna lie. Especially for like being in transigen space. Like that makes a pretty big difference. Alright, so that was Recon Locus. So Transigen Forge. I don't think that's gonna be enough to tip the scales too far, but I don't know that this event was really worth trying to push on. Because if you push, you get a little bit more of the store tokens, and you get a little bit more of the hierarch shards. She's not a high priority for me. Because like the only way that I'm gonna spend any G6 is if I'm doing my my academy at this point. And I'm not planning on going to 70 on Friday. I'm not going to do it today. I already had that one planned out before this event dropped. So I think this one's going to be kind of a miss. See what Wrath credits will do. I'll be able to get to the next milestone and possibly past. Top 70. Hey Jason, how are you doing, Mr. V-neck? Another next-gen content creator. If you're not following Jason, give him a follow. Yeah. Especially after I get up to 70 here and, get a little bit of a better ship, maybe some arenas or something. I'm hoping to get the PCs set up right so when I drop my first stream, I have a ton of materials. That'd be a good way to do it. Hell yeah. All right. Let's load in. Not worried about the ops level stuff. I just want to talk the game with you. No, that's I'll probably have the stage set up on Friday if you're going to be around. That's one of the things that Tim Man's been pushing me for, is to make sure that I get that all set up and ready to go. Which I haven't figured out on how I want to get it set up. Friday's wedding anniversary won't be on Twitch. Well, no worries. Shoot me a DM. Let me know. Let me know if you got some ideas or times that would work or whatever. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to pretend like I'm going to be ahead of the wife in any priority list. I'm not a married man, but I am a smart enough man to know the better. I'm flexible. I work 9 to 5, well 8 to 5. So I'm free on evenings. $25 years. That's good. That's awesome. Congratulations. $28 years? Wow. Congratulations. One of these days, I'm just going to have this pattern finally memorized. Or just remember the simple fact that I have my GS31 here and I can beam some of these too. Did get married at 19 years old. I was going to say you had to have been like 18 or something like that. I am absolutely ecstatic and thrilled that they have them available. I don't care how expensive they are, and I don't care how many they have available. I just know that if they offer them, it's going to become better and better and better. Because they will listen to feedback and they will take advice. And if the community says that it's not enough, if it's too expensive or anything like that, we can expect at some point in the future that there will be some sort of adjustment. And I think that's a reasonable expectation. They've been pretty decent about acting on feedback. It might not be timely, it may not be to the degree that we want, but generally speaking, there's enough people that have the correct ears to make stuff happen. Is the GS31 that good? Mine is still pretty meh. Well, I mean, it's not that the GS31's like game breaking. I mean, it is a great ship and it pulls through deep into the game. But anytime that a chip that is available free to play like this is right now can be done to like the next level and stuff, that's just great. You know, it's sourcing for things that are not wasn't available before. It's speeding up the timeline on being able to get things maxed. I look forward to it for the hazard resistance. The beam ability is a good there. That gauntlet chest came through from 45 minutes ago, I swear. That's crazy that that just unlocked. When you max a GS31, you can send that ship into level 60 elite solo waves and doing level 70 hostiles in hazard space. And the that's the only thing that I've had lag on tonight was that the one redemption. I've had it with other things over the last week, but that one the one the one artifact redemption I noticed didn't come today. Had it with the battle pass rewards. Like I don't remember what the last one was. I'm pretty sure it's in the faction store. Like when I get to maybe it wasn't in the faction store. But if I get one thing hung up, everything after it stays hung up as well. I think it's in the refinery. Like usually when I get down to like Isomatter or the Enterprise is kind of where it starts hanging up on me, I think. My PC is old, so everything like lags. Trying to figure out why I couldn't claim the battle pass rewards, and I realized I didn't get the 20k currency yet. Yeah, I mean, like I get that when it's after like the dailies reset or the events resets. Like I always expect to have some scoring lags on some of that stuff, but like kind of like now where it's practically the middle of the evening, I don't expect to get a lot of lag for opening things. But I've learned that even if you do have the one thing lag, you can kind of keep going and open everything else and not usually run into problems with opening them later. Oh, that almost popped into my head what I usually get stuck on. It's in the refinery though. Is shaving your head while while live on STFC. Yeah, having that beam cooldown drop down to 45 seconds is going to be really good. Because like mine right now is... I never know where to look at these things. Does it even say? It's like 2 minutes. Oh, it doesn't say there either. 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes. So it moves pretty quick. But I haven't gotten any of the blueprints or the blueprints, the ship parts yet for it. I don't know how expensive they are. They must be pretty expensive. Oh, that's not bad. 500 parts for 7,500 currency. I'd say that's pretty in line with like the Vindicator, no? Yeah. That's way better than I thought that was going to be, honestly. Cuz I expected them to kind of charge a premium with it. And that seems very reasonable. Cuz that'll be two whole components. 2.5. Yeah, that's good stuff for sure. All right. So I think now is a fantastic time to pivot into looking at the Alliance Tournament store and finishing out the spend there. For tomorrow's Ascendant event, is it research or ships? I forgot the order. I feel like it was ships on day 2. Oh, they got rid of that schedule. Let's see, they should still have the event thing up on their blog. Maybe not. Is that one of those things they just link to it? That may be something worth posting in Discord. Archiving for the future. State of the game, anniversary, interim. Did they update that one maybe? Oh, Serene Squad is dead. Yeah, they don't even have this on the list at all. I don't remember. Have a good day, Larami. Thank you for stopping by. Am I crazy or do they usually post an event schedule? I know that they always have it in the in-game news. Let's go back. When in doubt, consult the other calendar. Let's see. So this would have been around this time. Chronicle of the Ascendants. That's okay. We must not have had a lot of significant details on that. November 11th would have been the blog post, though. I don't see it. Same here. Drive to Minnesota. The Ramey's in my neighborhood. Yeah, Adva didn't update them with the actual event details after they popped out, I guess. That would have been too easy. And one of those things, probably go back and look at some old stream videos and see it. All right, so I'm gonna post up. Hopefully, this doesn't cover too much of the screen. We'll still be able to see some of that. Windows 11. Windows 11 isn't too much different than Windows 10, honestly. All right. Alliance Tournament Store. I think all I've done so far in here was we got Syndicate level 30, so I got the Monavine refit. And then I had a couple of things that I picked up for different tournaments. So I want to see any of these particles for the primes and stuff just to make sure that I don't need any of these. So I'm going to take a quick look here for the prime cosmic particle. Yeah, that gives you the G5. The G5 pulls in your Monavine. All right, prime cosmic particle. That gives G3 to G5 prime research efficiency and the prime junking speed. I already have the prime junking speed maxed. I don't care about G3 through G5. Next thing is Omega Particle. I feel like Omega Particle is one that I wanted something for. So I have 2000. I have all that I need for that. That gets Prime Critical Strike. So I just need a good power gain event to use that for. So I don't need any more shards of that. Karka's Isolytic Weapon, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I've got that unlocked. I could do Eviscerator parts if I have to spend it on something. Next one here is Astral Prime Particle. I have 360 on hand. That gets used for Delta Spike, which is for the Voyager. I don't care about the Voyager. Next one is Weapon Prime Particle. I'm pretty sure that I might be pretty much set on these things then. Weapon Prime Particle, I don't need any of those. This is completely maxed out. Hey, super friend, I'm gonna eat dinner. If I'm not back in time, have a great one. Boom, boom, and all that. Boom, boom, Jason, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Enjoy your dinner. Yeah, the mirror dust is definitely something to get for sure. I just want to make sure that the prime particles, anything that I can get for a prime for free, I'm gonna make sure that I get first. All right, so my next one here is prime particle key. So I have 500 on hand. I need 1,000. 1,000 will give me the Prime Explorer Wrecking, so I want to get all 5 of the Prime Particle keys. And then I will be done with the Prime Particle key. Where are you at? I hate the way that this resets every time that you bend something in here. It's always scary. So I try to put my mouse in between 2 of the cards so that I know that I can't accidentally click on something. Because I always end up buying a couple of things by accident during this store. Sometimes the accidental purchases are fine because it's stuff that you can use. Sometimes they're just worthless. Like I ended up getting one of the Vindicator blueprints, and then I got something else over here, radioactive titanite. Like, yeah, I don't need it, but like I could use it at least. All right, Syndicate Prime Particle. I'm very certain that I'm good here. I need 0, so that means I'm maxed with that. And then I'll come back and check on some of these techs, Forbidden and Chaos techs. Storm Prime, I know for a fact I don't need that one. Thoughtmaker, I think I have. Alright, that's not going to be in this area. Fuse Cannon and Temporal Conduit I might have too. So I'm going to get the premium Mirror Dust. It doesn't show how many particles or how many resources I have left. Oh, that's always so frustrating. There it is, 86,000. I carried quite a bit over from the last store because there wasn't a lot of stuff in there for me. Alright, so I don't know about those refits. I probably need... Does this one have refits? No. So we need to go to research. And then this one might need a little bit of expansion. Because I can search by research name, that should pull up. I thought this one pulled up the... Is this a tech or artifact? That's a tech. Oh, this pulls up the artifacts. Right? There's ship skins, artifacts. Tech is not in this area. But I can do ship skins. So the USS Terror and the Section 31 Discovery. I'm pretty sure I have the Terror. Is this in alphabetical order? No. So the Section 31 Discovery I don't have yet. Alright, is there a search function on this one? I don't know if that one will show up right or not. I know it won't show up if I don't spell it correct. That's primes. I don't even remember how to do this anymore. I had it figured out at one point. Because we can filter by category. So if I do ship skins, does it show the actual quantity that I need? So I want to find USS Terror. We can do upgrade cost, I guess. It doesn't show. Okay, I have 20 of the terror shards on hand. I don't even know what ability it really gives. So I can get the 40 here and get that unlocked. Oh, wait, no, that was the terror. Section 31 Discovery. Let's see, I'm at 40 now. Heading out for the night, dinner and a movie. Enjoy your dinner, enjoy your movie. Thank you for stopping by, Tin Man. I should check to see if I need Prime Valor emblem for anything else yet. Resource allocation. Hugs and love to you too. Prime Valor emblem. Oh yeah, there's a lot of things that could use Prime Valor emblem. Oh yeah. We'll keep on accumulating that. I knew the one thing that I was really targeting for with the Prime Valor emblem was the Discovery warp range. I didn't realize that there was that many other things tied in with it. Prime Armada Refinery is a really good one. Make sure you let me know when you're gonna do your jump, because I wanna join. I wanna be there. I wanna celebrate with you. All right, so temporal conduit. I will need I don't do that info. It can be useful. It can be useful. So, okay, temporal conduit, tier 9, level 41. Fuse cannon, I know I have. Let's see. What other weird things? Sparks Club gives so much insight into what your resources are and where they're at. So I could use Vindicator ship parts for sure. I didn't even realize that they were in the store still. Because I had gone through the store here at the beginning of it, and I thought there was only like the Eviscerator for parts. I didn't think any of these other things really had parts. And then not Vindicator blueprints, but Vindicator parts. I have maxed rev for 4 months. That's a lot of pulls for Revenant. Let's see, we're at 65,000. FT Hull Piercer. I don't have the Hull Piercer unlocked. Which I'm surprised about. I would have expected to have that one unlocked. So get that. Should be able to see that in the refinery chest here. Yeah, it's 44 out of 200 for the unlock. That's going to be a few of these. Oh. I wish instead of waiting for this summary screen, I wish it would show it on this summary screen too. All right, so that puts that there. Emblems of Honor. Emblems of Honor are a good thing to spend on. And the Cultivated Mycelium. Never turn this down when you get an opportunity to pick it up, because all of the new jumping abilities are tied to that right now. Everything that you get through the Transigen Forge. And then the Droda Sentient Missile, I believe I have. Ooh, I do not have. Let's see how close we are with this one. About the same. 28. So we get about almost a quarter of the way unlocked with this. Oh, that jumped. I switched over to the Berserker complex, which I'm very certain that I do have. Maybe? Let's refresh this. Maybe not. I'm missing so much more of these texts than I thought I was. No wonder I feel like I don't have to swap out texts as much as other people. I don't have any of them unlocked. Okay. Spock's engagement pendant. Okay, that one's level 20, so that should be maxed. Dual photon warheads, I'm pretty sure that I have unlocked, but I feel like I've said that way too many times, so no, I don't have it unlocked. This is almost embarrassing. And it's not so much that I feel that these are important to have. They're just things that I can collect. They'll fill a purpose at some point. I think at a minimum that opens up more things in the Forbidden Tech Refinery. Alright, Control Seeker probes. I don't even know about that one. So I must not have that one either. I have so many of these so partial. Alright, and then I will spot check on the last one here. Alright, so we're at 105 out of 150. How many ears does Captain Picard have? Oh no. A dad joke. King of dad joke, this is fitting. A left ear, a right ear, and a final frontier. That's so fair. You lived up to your name. I appreciate it so much. Hi, Sig to Sig. All right. Section 31 torpedo pods. What do they call it though? I might have to put in torpedo pods. S31 torpedo pods. Okay, I have that one unlocked. And then the Guinans. That is unlocked. Kirk's phaser rifle. Pretty sure that one is unlocked. That one is unlocked. Assimilated Stella Shard. I believe that'd be another one I don't have. I do not have that unlocked yet. Doing good on the currency so far. And I just have to be careful with the store reset. That's so tough. I mean, I'm getting to the point where I have enough stuff unlocked that if I accidentally click somewhere that's not where I want to be, that I might not get something. I shouldn't accidentally pick up anything that I don't want. All right. Borg Alcove, I know is good. I know I'm good on those. It's weird scrolling through and seeing the live action characters next to the animated ones. It can be, yeah. I mean, they kind of did the crossover, but it would be kind of nice if they would have had the live action characters from the animated series in the game to kind of. But I think that crossover was done after Lower Decks was introduced in the game. I don't remember exactly. the order of operations. It had to have been. But I mean, it's kind of one of those things that it's not the first time that something like that's happened because there's like the thought that this person in their dimension exists as this. And there's not a reason to think that that appearance couldn't be the same in our dimension. That's a very interesting concept. Columbia NX02 shards. I should have been going through all this stuff like one by one so long ago. Because I could have been working on so many of these extra refits that don't matter. But you never know if at some point they update the refinery, they refresh the loop, or as things get archived and you get the upgraded refine options for it. I mean, some of these, I think this one has officer shards tied to it. Yeah, it increases officer shards. So, I mean, as like my officers are getting to the point of getting to be maxed, I need to have more and more shards. So there's kind of a more of a benefit in the later part. Assimilated amalgam, I'm pretty sure I have. Or else this is the store that gets it to me, I believe. Okay, so I don't have this one yet. I might actually have to go look at that. I'm going to check that one out just to see how many I need. Because I should be darn close to that if I don't have it yet. Simulated amalgam is somewhere close to here. If I didn't pass it already, I did. Okay, 48 out of 120. I'm not as far along as I thought I was. I've been finding that out with all of the things inside of this Alliance Tournament store. Like, I kept on looking at these things and like, oh, I've already got that. I've already got that. And now that I'm kind of actually going through and double checking, I'm finding that I don't have a lot of these things. I don't even know what this one adds. I think it just enhances the ability of the loot boost. All right, in here, the rhodinium particles might not be a bad thing to have. I think McCoy's hyperspray would be something that's maxed. Yes, so I think all three of those are. I have those 3 PvP ones. Armored Voyager refit. I don't think I have. I don't think I even really want. I don't think that one actually delivers a reasonable benefit for me. I think that's more of a combat thing. Oh, it's a new refinery claim? Yeah. I guess I'm not too concerned about that one then. Alright, so that's Armored Voyager. Bisha Glass I already have. Gorn Eviscerator. That's not that many parts. I don't know if they would come in handy for tomorrow's or the next Ascendant event that has the ship upgrade stuff. But I'm gonna grab these in case it does. That's gonna leave me with plenty carryover. There we go. Is there anything that I missed that I should have out of this store? I mean, officer shards, I probably should be grabbing officer shards. Those badges are expensive. Did I check on temporal conduit? I don't even remember. Yes, I have temporal conduit. So I think I have all the artifacts at least partially unlocked. I'm more interested in getting things unlocked out of this store than I am on maximizing them, other than ship parts. Alright, I think that's good. Oh, Crucible of War, I was like, what did we get some extra points in? Okay, Augment Exile. See if I can spend some Wrath tokens on something useful. Augment Ingenuity ships probably would be my next best bet. That is Tritanium, Dilithium, and Sigma and ship components. I'm planning on building a ship on Friday, and it's going to be extremely expensive. Ship materials or Ingenuity ships? Ingenuity ships. Ship parts. I feel like Ingenuity ships. I don't know how many epic that I have. I'm gonna go with materials. Materials would be the better one. And then it'll be quicker to be able to get to 400 than it would be to get back up to 500. And then for rare, accelerated insight is going to be speed increase for research. I have ship materials under superior reserves. And that is cost efficiency, ship parts, Sigma reserves repairs. I don't care about repairs, but I will care about parts and materials. Materials. Now the question is the superior materials that's going from 150 to 200. I don't know how many of the rares that I have. Okay, so that flipped over to epic now. And I don't think that the uncommon score. Check out the Ascendant event again and see. Rare and epic wrath credits. Just to see, actually, I'll see if the event store has any of those. Because if you could pick up wrath credits in the event store, there is a possibility that it could net profit. But I don't think it has it. That would have been convenient, I guess. Where are we at? Field rations. Ship refits. Enterprise D4, Hegta, Enterprise D, Daredex Tribune. Augur. You don't want the hijacked Augur refit? That's the only 3 for the Black Friday pass. The anniversary officers. Oh, that's kind of a cute badge. A little turkey Starfleet badge. And we get that through one of these metas, I take it. Not the Alliance one. Not that one. Maybe those events are not upon us yet. Oh, we get 1. Anniversary Celebration Part 1. Interesting. That implies that it could be multiple parts. Okay. We're done there. Let's snooze that ad, and then I'm gonna find somebody to raid out to. Let's raid out to DJs and see what he has to say about the. See what he has to say about the Connor thing. He doesn't look like a happy cat right now. Hi, Zero G's. That damn knock button is way too prominent. All right, thanks everybody for stopping by. Hope everybody had a fantastic day. Check suck after you read. I will. I looked at it earlier, but I haven't seen it in a while. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I will be live again Probably on Thursday night I'll have a stream. Otherwise, for sure on Friday. Friday, Cotton will be going op 70. So be sure to stop on back and check that out. Hope everybody has a great day. And everyone in the US, I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving if I don't get a chance to talk to you before then.